The Global Community Conversation, a Various Fields series special, Various Dialogues. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Various Fields. My name is Hazen Fields II.
I'm Lex.
And I'm Trey. How you doing?
That's okay. That's the first time we've ever done
that's the first time we've ever done
that. Like that.
Yeah.
Well, we are so very happy to have with us a good friend of mine. We share the same birthday. How do you like that?
Mm-hmm.
We have the artistic director of the Mopco Improv Theater in Schenectady, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Michael Byrne.
Here I am.
Yeah, that's it.
To the audience.
Oh, yeah.
That's in the way back.
Thank you.
Comparing the cheap seats.
Well, listen, Michael, I am thrilled to finally have you here, and I wanted to dive right in because you've got so many facets to you and so many things that I think the audience is going to be interested in finding out about. So, first of all, why don't you ask your three questions that you know to ask?
Yeah, sure. Well, first question first, not all at once. We're going to just want to know who you are. Just introduce yourself to the audience.
Yeah, so, I'm Michael, and actually, I think improv has defined me more and more throughout my adult life. It's like I took a theater games class in high school 50 years ago, and it's just been a thing that happened throughout more and more and more, until now I am but an improv itself.
The essence of. Aren't we all?
It is the truth.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you want to?
Yeah. No, it's fine. And what do you do in the capital region?
As little work as possible. So the Mopco is this little theater. You've seen it, I know that. They probably haven't. Used to be a firehouse on North J Street in Schenectady, and then it was a restaurant, and then it was a gentleman's club, which kept like the Daily Gazette in ink in the 80s. It was always making waves, and then they shut it down for about 20 years, and it just rotted, literally. We bought it, we being my wife and partner and myself, bought it in 2016 and gutted the whole place and made this little theater there. So I spend my days doing everything from sending out mailings to thinking about what show formats we're going to do to mopping the floor to we also have a consultancy where we use improv in businesses and organizations and do a little bit of that. That's mostly my wife, who's way smarter than I am. But I help out with that a little bit. But mostly I do the 1,000 things you got to do to run any small business, right? This one happens to be improv.
You got your last one, Nick?
We're burning through this pretty quickly.
No,
I can get more verbose.
No, we're going to pick up.
At the moment, I just want to make sure we have the opportunity, giving you the floor, giving you to expound on however you need to, and just tell the community what you do, bringing in the people that you have. How do you get so many established actors on your stage?
Oh, that's a great question. Really is, because this man is unusual in that he came to us with this amazing background as a performer, right? Improv is a weird kind of theater. A lot of really great improvisers have never acted before. So they may need some really basic coaching on stuff that's second nature to you, right? Stage presence and stagecraft of various kinds, but they've got the improv thing, so that's what counts. And the bulk, two places, people in the main company, the Mop and Bucket company, either come from auditions, and they're usually students of ours who've taken improv classes and fallen in love with it and focused on it and built their skills, or people coming into the area. Improv is this really weird niche community all over the country, right? So some people come into the area and they've got great skills and they know different things. I love it when that happens because then they teach us new stuff and we expand sort of the way we do things artistically, and that's fantastic. Actors with a capital A are rare, because I guess I don't know why. I've seen a lot of actors be very afraid of improv.
Yes.
No, I need the scripts. No,
That's true.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, with that being said, just for our friends, how would you define improv? Because we've been saying the word,
Sure.
we're saying, what is it to you?
That's great. I love that question too. It is life. Because we're improvising right now. We're not making a scene. We're not pretending to be something we aren't. But it's the art, I think. And there's a guy named Joe Bill who, I've had big arguments about, is it a medium or is it an art? If you're watching Joe, it's an art of making stuff up in the moment. And not pre-planning other than maybe a format or something. So you make theater, in our case theater, out of being present, listening and receiving from your partner and building with what they give you. And we call that an offer, and everything is an offer. Right? So in life it's the same thing, opposition is an offer. Silence is an offer, right? Somebody really seeming to enjoy what you're doing and saying, that's an offer, it's all. So what am I building with right now? A yes and. Yes and is like this 2-word DNA of improvisation, but people get confused about it. Because they think it means I hear people say this to me all the time, oh yeah, you're an improviser, that means you always agree with what I know. Absolutely not. I'm actually a curmudgeon. I don't agree with much of that. It means accept and build, right? And if you impose on somebody that they must always agree, that's not creativity. That's aggression. So it really. And improv has in the past more, I think. And still suffers some from that idea of like, no, you're a bad improviser because you didn't agree with that ridiculous thing I just said. So that's not it. It's building with what you're given right now in this moment. So it's on stage and off. You wanted to see where the passion is. This is where it is. Right? The stuff we do on stage and learn to do, I think, is a way to live one's life where you take the biggest advantage of the moment all the time. And that means yes anding yourself too.
Wow.
Right?
Oh my goodness. We're gonna be driving there, and I want to get us there because that's one of the other parts of it. But I do have a question before we go down that road. One of the biggest questions I've had from friends is like, so you're going to rehearse improv? How do you rehearse improv?
Okay, it's all a lie. We memorize scripts. I tell people exactly where to stand. No, the fact is, it's kind of like a sports team, right? They have a practice, and they will do all sorts of things that you might see in a game, but you'll never see that thing again. So like any discipline, really, I think, or practice, we do drills of various kinds, and we also just plain improvise, and then critique ourselves. Look at what could we have been more effective with. For me, it's always, where did I drive this scene? Where did I, because I have to direct and act at the same time. That's weird. Not making your partner wrong because they had a different idea than you did. It takes some work. So it's practice. It really is. For some reason, I get itchy when people call it practice. Like Tuesday night, I go to practice. I go like, no, that sounds amateurish. It's practice. But it's practice, really.
I didn't want to say.
No, I said actually like at least off of practice, or like even like they consider maybe a discipline of improv. What do you think makes a good improviser in terms of something that you look for? Because I imagine it's different aspects and stuff like that. But, yeah.
The ability to blurt stuff out, turning down that judge, that censor that's in your head. Years ago, I used to say, kill the censor. Very bad idea. Don't want to. When I was in my 20s, I was a young actor in New York and work in restaurants. Of course, that's what you do. And I got fired all the time. Couldn't figure it out, but basically I did not have a censor. So, somebody would say something stupid, I'd just blurt what I thought. No, I'm out of work again. So you need some of that, right? And so the part of the censor or the judge, I think, that you want to turn down or get to sit outside while you're working is the part that is self-critical unreasonably. That parental shaming voice, you know? And it's not something to get angry at, it's there for your protection. It's trying to help you, you know? So you should love it while you're asking it to shh. Right? So blurting, that's a thing. As I already said, that really listening in the moment. And the bad news is, we are terrible listeners. And by we, I mean human beings. I've been talking for quite a while. You guys, each of the three of you has gone up here to your fortress of solitude while I was talking. And I should have picked up the groceries this guy.
How did he know?
Right? But then you come back down fast because we think 3 times faster than we can talk. I'm still on the same sentence. You say, cool, I got it. You stitch it together. Problem with that is then you do it again, right? So we're bad listeners. So it's a discipline to be listening more completely and listen to the body, to the voice, to the face, to the energy coming from somebody, because it's not just the content, right? And do that yes and thing with what you get from your partner. And finally, it's not about you, it's not about me, I should say. I want to make my partner look good. I want to make this. So I also want to ask, what does the scene need? Right? And in real life, you know, we all know, you're in that situation that starts out, somebody makes a fairly innocent joke, it's taken a little wrong, and all of a sudden they're building to a bad place. What does the scene need here?
I like that.
You know, I was standing on Wolf Road a couple of weekends ago with about 10,000 other people.
Yes.
You know, and there was a guy who had a megaphone standing next to me, and he made me nervous because he was like, his edge was not necessarily really safe. And he got into it with some guy in a car. And I'm thinking, this could go not good. We don't want that. So I found myself, I didn't even think about it, I found myself starting to sing God Bless America. And all these other people started to sing God Bless America.
Fantastic.
Right? And that's what the scene needed.
Wow.
You know, because the guy in the car was just like, all right.
That's excellent.
You win.
Excellent. No, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Listen, you know, we started to open the door a little bit to your passions, and a little later on, if we can, Michael is going to kind of introduce us all to a little bit of improv, using me and the guys here. You know, if we can. But I want to kind of go back into that door of the passion. We're living in tumultuous times, you know, and to say it nicely, something like that, you know. Where do you see your passions and the tenets of improv? Where do you see that as helping or being a part of the community? What's your, you know, how do you do that?
Well, let me just say that I love the fact that one of the only things that I think is a real gift out of the current regime is that they've brought to the forefront 3 letters that I think are wonderful letters. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Right? And there is strength. Like, one of the things that I'm very passionate about is trying to have the theater be a place that's really, truly, truly open and welcoming to all different kinds of people. All different kinds of people. Because that's where you find inspiration and innovation and creative spark and even love and joy. Out of people just saying, yeah, we can do this thing together. Right? Which and it's very hard, I think, because I can be told that I'm welcome someplace, but I go there and as the intention is there, but nobody really knows how to reach across maybe a cultural boundary or whatever. So I'm feeling weird.
Right.
And me meaning anyone, one, could feel weird. Somehow, and I don't take credit for this, I think the theater has developed at least the beginning of a truly welcoming culture.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Where people are unconditionally welcomed. And that's like,
Yes.
that is a passion, right?
Yes.
It really is. And to an extent, gently speaking truth to power is a very important. I mean, you know, I know, we were talking about this before. I would probably be in the process of making the theater into a nitty-gritty little political street theater right now. But I asked everybody in the sort of community around the building, students, members of the main company, et cetera, how are you feeling about this? And people cautioned me and said, we need this. We need this community, we need this safe space to be here. And if you go all out, you're gonna mess that up. Was the bottom line, was what I was being told. So I said, okay, let's keep focusing on that. Let's have a safe space for all kinds of people. That's private property.
I like jumping on that because it's actually early on to the regime new administration. Something I was thinking about, or one of the first things I told a lot of people when, like, just because also, as the audience knows, also I've referenced a lot. I've been in the news field for a very long time. I've also been in the political field, at least politically adjacent. And I always felt like this is the moment to tap into community. That's the most important part, because that's where you get strength from. And also, as always being, I say somewhat adjacent to improv, because our family's always done a version of improv in terms of like just with my grandmother, and then from when I was younger, we always did like small little skits. And that's something that's always been in me. And it's helped me with news a little bit, because like you're just thrown into any type of situation, you have to adjust to that. And then it's helped me honestly meet a whole bunch of different people, because you don't see the differences kind of get blurred away. You don't necessarily care about that, because you're just, oh, this is a person, I accept them as they are, and then you just yes and that with everything. But the cool part about this, at least stepping into this exact moment with community, why I think it's such an attachment to improv, is that's what's the story? Rock Soup?
Stone Soup.
The Stone Soup kind of thing is like exactly what you need. And I feel like that's kind of the direct way to fight fascism, if you're getting the direct line. Community. So yeah, no, I think either step you take, I think you're making the right move.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you too.
It's pretty amazing. I get a chance to go to the Mako Improv Theater, which is in Schenectady, New York, 10 North J Street. If you happen to be in this region on Monday nights, they do something that is really wonderful. They have a workout night, and everybody's welcome. The thing about that is that we have so many different personalities, and it's wonderful. I've seen this gentleman take so many diverse personalities. Some people are a bit more, I guess you could say, energetic, you know. And some,
that's a good word.
That's a good word. And he has to navigate that to make everyone feel comfortable. He does it. So what would you say to people who are trying to speak to a crowd of different personalities. What is your methodology of trying to make everyone, as best you can, feel comfortable?
But could I answer that, but after I just want to say this about the gentleman who was just speaking there, who neglects to say he's one of the most important people at the MOPCO, in our community, in our acting company. And on many a Monday night, he's one of the most important people there. And specifically on Monday night, what this guy does is like, he just sees what's happening, he sees the room, he sees what's going on, and he says, okay, Michael could use a little assist over here. He just comes in a little tweak, right? No, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything at all, right? And we had a visitor, I haven't told you this, but we had a visitor, new person, who's very kind of aware, right, a few weeks back, and we were talking afterwards, and she said, that guy, is he like your stealth assistant or something? It's like, did you plan that? It's like, no, that's Hayes. Doing what Hayes does, right?
Wow.
Which is, it's a beautiful thing, it really is. Because it's a community. Right. But what was the question?
Yes, I wanted to find out how you did it, because you
Stage,
know,
okay, I'm with you. I remember now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I think there are two things. One is that when you're going to perform, when you are getting ready for a performance, your system ramps up, you get great energy. And it took a fork in the road. In the athletic world, athletes were wise enough to say, yeah, give me that, right? I don't know what the NFL budget is for like lockers, but it must be huge, right? Because these guys are getting ready for the big game and they're like taking their helmets and pounding them. Yeah, build it more. Then, other side of town in the backstage of the theater, people are going, oh no.
Right.
And this happened because they're fighting this energy. So, stage fright, you may feel some nausea, your palms are sweating, your hands are shaking, you may even get a little bit of tunnel vision, right? That, I was taught this many years ago, encourage it, say, yes, good, my palms are sweating, I feel like I'm gonna roll, this is good, and encourage it, go into it. To liberate that energy, because that's what's going to get your voice across, your body across, everything is going to get bigger and sharper because of that. Part two is that you still have this fear. So that I like in my own personal image is that's this monster. People try to hide their monster, so they come on and they're like, let me just, hello. Yeah, you can't hide your monster.
Right.
So instead, come on and say, hey, how you doing? I'm a little scared, brought my monster.
Right.
I mean, this is obviously not literal. Well, I don't know, it's up to you.
I can be intimidating.
Right? But I think that's way better, because then the audience kind of falls in love with you. They say, oh, okay,
Yes,
he's human. He's a little vulnerable right now. Yeah, monster gets smaller and smaller.
I finally runs away.
So like again, like I know we were trying to put this up in segments, but like I'm very appreciative that you came on because a lot of the viewers, those that may not be aware of improv, and again the stigma of improv, they might have always like seen it as the proverbial banana taped on a wall, you know what I mean? But if you look deeper, and particularly with your passions and what you're bringing into improv yourself, you can see like the psychology behind it, the activism behind it, right? The study of how to be a better, not better you, but more of an open you, or like an expression of self that's not really there. So I very much appreciate
I love that. I'm loving your appreciation.
It's very good because, like again, like people are saying, like again, you see it in a lot of different media. It's like who does improv, right? But it's more than just the slapstick. It's more than just live action or ad libs. You know, it's bringing out the best of people, and you're showing that right now.
Thank you. You know what? People get scared of improv. Right. And this happens to me all the time, actually. People will come in for their first time coming into the theater as an audience member or whatever, and they say, don't you make me look stupid.
Right.
Because they have some idea that what improv means is we're wacky and silly, and any chance for a laugh, we're gonna take it.
Right.
It's not the case.
Right.
So, it is hard for me, on my more cynical days, on my more difficult days, they say, don't you make me look stupid, and I have to not blurt, because sometimes what comes up is, I don't have to. But that's the wrong thing to say. That's a good example of letting compassion and what does the scene need stifle that. That's actually a censor voice. That's like, I'm gonna go for the cheap, cynical laugh.
Right.
Keep that out of there.
Instead of building off of it.
I think I've once heard you say that if you want to become a very good improviser, to watch children. Now, what do you mean? Wow, don't do this to me. Sorry. Oh my Lord, help me. Let me try to phrase another. The youth have a tendency to explain watching. Never mind. Explain that in a better way before, please.
So
no letters. Okay, here we go.
I love to work with kids, with an exception I'll talk about in 1 second. But they are magical thinkers. They're really able to just accept stuff that isn't logically correct. They haven't had that kind of pushed out of them yet, right? They haven't been told, and it breaks my heart when I hear this. They haven't been told you can't sing.
Yes.
Right. You can't act, you can't draw, you can't sing. They may have been told there's some, but not enough yet. It's still in them. It's just this natural, and that is humanity in there.
Yes.
Yes. So I love it because they kind of instantly, they already get it. They already get it.
Yeah.
They're ahead of me. If I work with a group of kids, it's like, how do I catch up with you so that I can show you some practical, technical stuff
Yes.
to make what you already know how to do brilliantly work on stage.
Right.
Now the exception, 3, 4-year-old kids, man, they're the worst improvisers in the world. It's like, what are you doing? I got a dragon, I'm playing with a dragon. Oh yeah, here comes another dragon. No, it doesn't. That's not a dragon, that's a tractor. Oh, you're right, it's a tractor. No, it isn't. Change.
Block.
Yeah, they just block. You cannot win with a kid that age.
Well, I just did anecdote. I know we get ready to do another segment soon, but I just wanted to. My nephew, his name is Ryan. When he was little, I'll never forget. We were in our living room, and there was a cardboard box.
Best thing in the world.
And we were standing on the cardboard box, and I suggested that we were in shark-infested waters. Now he had to be 6 years old, and I was saying, well, we've got to get to shore. I said the only way I can do it is I'm going to jump out, and I'm going to swim to shore to get us there.
Yeah.
It's a red rug in a cardboard box. I leaped onto the rug, or stepped onto the rug as I was leaping. The young man just bawls out, no, get back in. And he saw the sharks. To such a degree that I thought I was playing, but his imagination was so vivid. He began to cry because he didn't want to get attacked by sharks.
That's right.
And so speak to that. Not my nephew.
I think you need someone else like Floyd or something.
I guess all I can say is don't freaking jump in the shark.
That could have a point.
That's a good point.
Stay in the boat.
Yeah.
But really, I love the fact that the scientists, the neuroscientists, the psychologists and stuff, they're kind of catching up with the improvisers.
Right.
They really are. And one of the things is that when you have a simulation of an experience, it makes changes in a human being exactly the same as a real thing. So you can use that for all sorts of things.
Absolutely.
And that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They're able to simulate so much more completely.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it's real.
It's real.
It's real. And who's to say it isn't?
Right. You can see
I'm not,
Right.
different people's reality is it's their business.
That's true.
As long as you don't hurt me, I'm cool with whatever you see.
Right.
And I think that's a big part of improv in part is learning how to be that again. You know, and see things and therefore create things, and it can lead to inventions. It can lead to not just stage funny stuff. You know, it's the MacGyver thing.
Honestly, that's the thing. MacGyver's always released the idea of this was kind of be a weird connection, but MacGyver, a little bit of a Bugs Bunny or maybe an Aladdin type. If you've seen those things, where it's like just that improv, like go off the flow, the Marty McFly kind of thing. Is action hero.
Yes.
And me and my brother, we create stories all the time.
Yes.
Off the top of our head. And something that we have put a lot of time into, that I do feel like it's part of us as we're kids when you play that imaginative like playground, playland kind of thing that we never grew up out of, and it's come to like story creation, and we've developed this into like a thing that we can do. But an aspect that I find that I actually try to tell the audience, please use this, and also for yourself, please use that. It started off as a version of a bit and like a version of like study for me and my brother for like characters we made. But sometimes when I'm first meeting people as an icebreaker, I'll ask people, if you had a superpower that best described your personality, what would it be?
Yeah, I love that.
And I like that for two reasons. Because one, it encapsulates like, okay, we can have a little fun with this, we're doing this, it's not exactly being invisible, all that jazz.
Yeah.
But it's also, I can now see a part of myself as a superpower. And you'll see people, one, you can kind of do the divvy of like what people put imagination into, because some people don't think about it at all, like what does that mean? They toss out anything, super string, flatly counted basic one. But then people like kind of chewing it, and they're thankful for the moment to do it, and all that. And I just, if you don't mind me throwing that at you,
I love that
if you had a
so much.
superpower that best described personality, what would it be?
Yeah. I think I have an ability to see people at least understanding where they may see themselves.
See,
Right?
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not 100% all the time, because I think that would drive you crazy.
Right.
You know? But I have an ability to open that window.
Yeah, meeting people where they're at a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
Super cool.
And I do think it's out of train. You know, there's a woman, Viola Spolin, sort of started American Improv, and many, many years ago in Chicago. She started in settlement houses working with children with another woman named Neva Boyd, and you know, it's easy to say settlement houses, children. These were traumatized kids, right? And they found games to teach these kids all sorts of things. It was the games that did it, and that's where the whole thing comes from, really.
Right.
So it's what you know, their superpower was like, how do we get these kids from all over the world ended up in Chicago to play together and learn together.
Well, listen, we do want to learn some more, and we want to learn, if everybody learn, and how to get to various fields, and all you have to do is like, share, subscribe, hit all the buttons, and we want to. And what we're going to do right now, we've been talking about improv, and what we're going to stop and do is we're going to actually see a little bit. We're going to have Michael stand up and do a little presentation with us, and we're going to try to do our best to support him in that. So you're watching Various Fields with Michael Burns from the Mako Improv Theater in Schenectady, New York.
Hi, I'm Hayes Fields, and I am delighted to, you know what, I just want to bring him on right now. Michael Burns, come on.
Yes.
Here we go. Yeah, tell you what, sit.
Oh,
sit
right,
right
okay.
there.
Hey, Hayes, nice to see you, Hayes.
Okay,
Nice to see you.
actually, I'm Michael Burns. This is Hayes Fields.
Wow.
I was kidding you.
Wow, that just
That was
happened so naturally.
Improv.
That's exactly right. So we're going to try to do some sitting improv.
Yeah.
You mind if I bring my sons on?
I think that would be absolutely.
Fellas, come on in here and help us with this improvising.
Yeah.
All right. So what are we going to do today?
Well, you know what I had popped up for me is this is kind of like the Pillars. Do you know the game, Pillars?
Yes, Pillars.
So yeah, Pillars is a game. You are the pillars that hold up the stage, right? You don't even have to physicalize it unless you want to. I mean, if you want, my arms would get tired. But but the idea is this: we're going to do a scene. We'll start with something, and we may sort of just forget our lines, although we don't have any. We may not know how to finish a sentence. So if I don't know how to finish a sentence, I would draw on my pillar. So I might say, "Oh, that's one of those big water jugs for a cooler." I
need to get it for the bear I have in my house.
Need to get that for the bear I have in my house, because he gets so thirsty.
Right.
Right, so we just accept how you finish the sentence, fold it into the scene,
I love it.
and it keeps us in this moment because
Right.
they're smarter than we are.
They absolutely.
You know.
So we can get an offer. Nels, you wanna what do we
Yeah.
wanna get as an offer?
How about, well, how do we know each other in this scene?
How do we know each other, Nels?
Your cousins.
All right, there you go. All right. Marvin! Oh my goodness, it's been a long time.
I cannot look at you without smiling, you know.
Yes, you're right.
Because I think about that time. Every time I see you.
Oh my goodness, you're gonna go back there again?
Yeah. We were kids and we were at this big family reunion.
Right.
And you walked up to Aunt Melba and you said,
Hey, Aunt Melvin, how did we get on this boat?
how did we get on this boat? She's just like, what are you doing?
That's right, it's so funny you say that. So now we're in the boat, and then all of a sudden I grab,
That shark tubie.
I got a shark tubie. And I'm trying my best to just make it look like it's fun, and then tell them what you said.
Well, I said, I wouldn't look now, but if you're not careful, you're gonna
Fall right out of this ship!
fall right out of this shit. And then we realized, like, everybody was watching.
Yeah,
Remember
oh my
that?
goodness.
You remember that?
Yeah, you know what's the most embarrassing part about that? Is when the pastor, he said,
I don't have enough for this buffet.
yeah, he didn't have enough for his buffet, and that's why we were like so far away from the food, and he thought that we weren't gonna get back. So we, we had to get back the best we could.
Yeah, he did not realize that you and I will never be separated
Oh.
from the food for long.
Oh no, Marvin.
Right.
Marvin, if there's anything we love more than food, it's
Food frenzies.
food frenzy.
Yeah!
Yeah!
I'm right
absolutely.
there. I am there. Yeah, just
All right, there you go. Okay, we'll
All right.
talking. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we can give a little hand there. I go. Oh, I don't know. It's all right. It doesn't matter what I did. It doesn't.
Your job is hard.
I think it's intimidating.
Yeah. You know, we might get all kinds of sounds right now. But anyway, so that's pillars.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you call it a game. So what's another game or exercise that you might be able to suggest that we can do here?
That's great. I mean, almost all of these games really are about just listening to your partner. I don't even know if it's a game, but what if we just do a little repetition? Because that's been like my favorite thing lately. Is just repeating in
Okay.
dialogue. So we do another kind of scene type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And our job is to repeat the last few words that the other person said to start what we say.
Okay.
Right? So you good for that?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm
Yeah,
fine with
of
it.
course you are.
Okay.
Let's get another suggestion.
Nels, one more.
What's in his pocket? Anything at all is correct.
A 8-ball. Magic 8-ball.
Magic 8-ball.
Thank you for that.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Wow. You know what, Tony?
Yeah.
You won't believe it. You know what I found?
What you found, you were up in the attic. You could have found almost anything up there.
A magic 8-ball.
Magic 8-ball. A magic 8-ball. I haven't seen one of these things since I was like really young. So you want to repeat too? Both repeat.
I haven't seen one of these things since I was really young.
I haven't seen one of these things since I was really young.
Finally, I found it. I haven't seen one of the things since I was really young. The Ark of the Covenant.
The Ark of the Covenant. Now there is a guy with an imagination that's gold. That's gold.
That is gold. What is it saying now?
That's gold. Look at this thing. It's gold.
It is gold. My goodness, we could sell it.
It's gold.
It's gold. You know, it doesn't matter. As long as we have this, we'll have financial resources for the rest of our life.
As long as we have this, we'll have financial resources for the rest of our lives. We start with 24 carats, then we build a farm.
I mean, 24 carats isn't as much as you think.
There you go. All right.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful.
All right. So therefore, I think we made it look simple. How did that look to you now?
Yeah.
How much time do we have? Because we want to make sure we.
7 minutes in.
We got 7 minutes. Okay, so we got another.
All right.
We got another. Good.
So, I wonder if the three of you maybe could play objection.
Oh,
I object.
You object, right?
All right. What is objection?
And we have to jump around with the chairs again, but the idea is we're gonna give them something to debate in court, but it has to be something non-controversial, not important, because there's enough controversy everywhere right now, right? So, and then whoever feels the strongest about that thing is gonna not step forward because we're doing the chair thing, but start orating.
Well, I'm going to ask you one thing. Just my only ask, just so my editors have to go. Can you do the objection? Just and point us out from here.
Yeah, I can just sit right where I am and just say yes.
Yes. Okay.
So I am the judge who sits among the attorneys. It's a big come down for me. Judges usually have that big desk. They don't let anybody near, but yeah, this is a different kind of court.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
They're more formal.
So
informal. Yeah.
So you said we're lawyers now, or?
Yeah, you guys just became lawyers. Do you feel it?
Yeah.
It's great, right? Great. Yeah. Yeah. So. Can we bother you, off-stage personage? Something totally non-controversial for these lawyers to debate in court.
The color of the sky.
Yes.
Ooh, all right.
That's right.
So
So when you object, you state your objection. I will either sustain, which means keep going, or I'll overrule. That means the person who was talking before keeps going. Right? Okay.
All right.
And you want to get wilder and wilder as you go. Okay, here we go.
We got
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you right now, I believe that the sky is blue, and it's important for it to be blue because blue is the sound of water. It looks like water, and we all like water. And if water is for us to drink, we should just drink it all in. Now, I know you guys are not going to object to that because it's true. Water is great to drink. So if you love water, then you must love the sky.
I object.
Oh,
In truth, the sky has no real color. It's just a reflection.
Sustained.
It is just a reflection of the blue that you see in water. It's just ozone wrapped over ozone, wrapped over ozone. But in truth, that's just a trick of the light.
I object.
That's right.
I like tricks.
Sustained.
Tricks are really good, and it's for kids. And you see a rabbit eating tricks, you always tell that rabbit, look, tricks are for kids. And we don't really want to see that happen.
I object.
Yeah.
Tricks are for really cool kids who can skateboard, do double backflips, and also understand that the sky has color. And I won't say that I'll be blinded to color, because now everyone doesn't see color of the sky. And I don't know where we're going with that, but that seems to be a terrible place to go.
I object.
Yeah.
I want to stop and not go. See,
Sustained.
Stopping is more important than going. Because if everyone would stop, there wouldn't be accidents on the road. So you must always remember to stop.
I object.
Yeah.
I feel as if All the Places You Would Go was a very controversial book, but only for the reason of not actually having more places to go. They limited to plateaus and valleys and peaks.
I object.
Yes.
There's nothing peak about that book. Dr. Seuss is a scheme. Dr. Seuss is a trap. I don't know what that means, but I understand all he does is say 1 fish, 2 fish.
I object.
Yeah, right here.
Dr. Seuss is not a doctor. He's a dentist. And don't
Sustained.
when you're a dentist, you can tell kids all kinds of things. You can make up stories. So I don't want to call him Dr. Seuss anymore. I'm going to call him Dentist Seuss. And if you can Seuss a dentist, you can get some money.
I object.
Yeah.
Dentist Seuss is stupid.
You win. Yeah. And that's the game, right?
All right, that sounds great. We looked at the hand now. All right, how much time do we have?
11 minutes.
We have 11 minutes.
minutes.
We have 4 minutes.
Improv is a fast thing.
All right, we got
Yeah.
4 minutes. What do you got? Something fast?
Well, why don't we just do a word at a time story, the four of us?
Oh, that's
Right?
okay.
And we
Oh,
get
okay.
4 for free, because we all know how stories begin.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so, do you wanna start off with that way?
Well, it doesn't matter, but I'm really the unseen person in the room. You gotta give us a title of a story that's never been told before.
What was that?
I'm stuck on that.
Oh, I'm stuck on that. Okay,
One of our favorite
that's a great
stories.
story. That's a great
Yeah,
story.
why don't we just start here and
All
we'll
right,
just go
you got
back.
it.
Well, I think I have a story. Once,
Upon
Time.
there,
was
A
Blue.
J,
who
was
Always.
going
to
the
Nest.
for
eggs
he
Never.
could
think
of
The.
thing
that
he
Was.
to
do
so
He.
tried
to
do
More.
with
the
thing
Eggs.
that
he
had
However.
when
he
tried
To.
fly
there
was
A lot.
of
problems
he
Was.
stuck
on
a
Twig.
because
his
legs
Were.
small
the
blue
J.
could
flap
really
Well.
but
his
wings
Never.
could
make
enough
Lift.
for
him
to
Fly.
and
and he
tried
To.
fly
but
he
Was.
so
panicked
that
The.
blue
Jay
cried
Because.
he
was
stuck
In.
his
stuff
the
End.
hey!
and see that's actually just the first chapter of our novel
That's
It
right.
is a classic.
It is a great
Blue
one.
Jay Unstuck.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's just a little bit, and anybody that's watching this, we believe that Michael is saying that you can do it too.
Yeah, you can.
You know, if you're not fortunate enough to be in the area, to come to the Mako Improv Theater, 10 North J Street in Schenectady, maybe in your neighborhood, wherever you are in this world, in this interwebs, as my sons would say, you know, maybe you can find a theater that you might like, because if you're nervous and a little scared, or you don't feel like you can speak in public, improv, I believe, opens that door
Amazingly well.
in you. So we're gonna come back and once again, we got a few more minutes with the amazing Michael Burns, and we're going to dig deeper into his passions about theater. Oh, let's put our hands together. I am sure that you were all amazed by the improvisation that was being done and taught. So I was doing a teaser. Now, Michael, we've been talking about what the Mako Improv Theater has been doing as it concerns social justice and community. And I think what we're doing there is slightly different than what you would do if you could. And what are things that you have not yet done in the improv world in terms of community that you would like to see done?
Yeah, okay. Well, for a long time, and I just pulled this book off the shelf because I got to go back and really study. There's something called Theater of the Oppressed. And this guy named Augusto Boal, a South American guy, invented this form. And it's about just exactly what it sounds like people creating their own theater out of the system where they perhaps are either oppressed or maybe the oppressor. And part of what happens in that format is, you know, maybe I'm playing the mayor of the village, right? And you're in the audience and you say, that's not how the mayor is. So you are encouraged to call that out, and then we'll say, well, come up and show us how the mayor is.
Ah.
I'll step out of the
I
room,
like that, I like that.
right, and you'll become the mayor. And sometimes in Boal's work, like the mayor would become the mayor. Defend his own thing, right?
Right.
And because it was theater, there was a liveliness but not a violence to really deep conversations about what's happening and what's wrong or unjust or so forth. And I've thought for many years this would be an awesome format to properly research. I've taken a couple of workshops and stuff,
Right.
but I need more knowledge because the guy's work was amazing. And maybe start bringing some of that into not our like Friday and Saturday 8 o'clock performances, but events at the theater.
It sounds important to me. I know we've mentioned this before. I like mentioning that not that we're court jesters, but the court jester was a royal appointment.
Oh, yeah.
And that was an actual that was the person or the person that was allowed to say those things to the king.
Speak truth
You
to
know,
power.
John Stewart, we're all
Yeah.
great fans of him. He uses his comedy
Yes, he does.
as a sword, and he's very effective with it.
That's
I
right.
believe so. How do you see? Is there a comparative thing for what we do in the improv theater that aligns with that?
Well, right now, I think what we're doing is every show there's something bubbles up. It's kind of like, oh, there's the thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be inevitable, frankly. I'll go out on a limb and make a prediction. As things develop in this country, we're going to have to be, without even trying, there's going to be more bubbling in our work. It's going to have to be.
Right.
Or else we're just going to be in some sort of la-la land. It's got nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
And Jon Stewart is awesome. The regime has no sense of humor, right? And
Yes.
that is a weakness.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
That
Yes,
can
it
be
absolutely
exploited
is.
because if you get people laughing at something,
Yeah.
it loses at, not with.
Yeah.
Laughing with, everybody gets stronger. Laughing
Right.
at, the thing being laughed at gets weaker.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I'm hopeful
Yes.
that can be part of resistance to things.
I love that take.
You know?
Well, this is my last thing I want to put out there, because we sometimes remind our audience, like Magic, we have our time here, our time machine.
That's right.
When we're recording this, I'm not going to talk about the exact thing that happened, but I don't know where we are in the world by the time you're seeing
out
this.
there.
But whatever's happening, what would you, I'm going to ask you to speak to the audience in reference to what you believe they might do to make their voices heard.
Oh, okay. Find your partners and make them look good. That's an improv. That's an improv tenet. Make your partner look good. So find your family, your community, your friends, and literally get together and support each other's strengths and find what you do as a trio, a quartet, a big group that feels right for you. Don't go it alone. You can't improvise alone, right? And I don't think you can be effective right now without community.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's what it takes.
Absolutely,
You
I
know?
appreciate that. You guys have
I was going to say a little bit of improv, I guess, for the audience. Seeing how we're speaking to the situations that we are currently in. I believe it's June 21st, 2025, right? So again, not alluding too much, but again, you now that we have this episode watermarked for your purview, we get to understand what we're speaking on. All of the sensibilities and sensitivities out there for the situation that is arising, but in that scope, try to write about it.
Yes.
Try to speak about it. Try to draw about it, right? Don't let the advent of AI or the advancements of technology take away your voice. Don't let this government or the people who are arguing against you in your beliefs, wherever you lie on this side of the table or the other, right? Don't let them speak against your voice,
Yes.
because in doing so, you become complicit in the things that are happening And whether it is something you agree on or disagree on, right, staying silent would become the purest evil in the face thereof. Right?
Yeah.
Don't let small twigs stop you from flying.
Ooh, very good. I like that.
Yeah.
And lastly, one of the exercises we do in theater is breathing in and breathing out. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. This is a time where we need to be focused. I don't know where we are in the world by the time you're seeing it, but I would like to have hope that things are better. But in truth, whether it is not, you be better and you take care of yourself. And we're thanking you for being here with us here at Various Fields. And we're just going to give the last word to Mr. Michael Burns, who is the artistic director of Monco Improv Theater, North J Street in Schenectady, New York. Michael.
Last word, mediocre. Dare to be mediocre. You don't have to be perfect. Perfect is the enemy of good. And play. Have some fun. You deserve it.
Beautiful.
Well, listen, thank you so much all for being here. Let's give a big old hand to Mr. Michael Burns. We're so glad you're here. And fellas, you know, as always, I love you to the moon and back. And we all love you here at Various Fields. But thank you for coming by. And listen, come by next time. Tell a friend, please. Let people know. Put in the comments things that you like. Please help us get that subscribe number up, because we're trying to go live very soon when we get to 500, and we're going to do a big live show. But until that time, thank you so much for being here at Various Fields, and we will see you soon.
Till the
Take
next
care.
one.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right.